Running the Gauntlet has its origins back to the 17th century, but its debut in Marble events begins here. Welcome everyone to the third event of the qualifiers for Team Quadrilla Marble League in Season 3, the Gauntlet Run. Teams will have to go through this line of quadrilla blocks, avoid the holes, both in the center, but also on the sides of the course. You may see the dark blue and the dark green blocks on either side is another place where marbles can be caught out. Marbles, they'll get points 1 through 8, depending on how far they go. We've seen an example run here from some Lotus test marbles to see how exactly this event works. Now, Group A standings after Event 2. Yellow Lotus up top with 2 wins in 2 qualifying events. They could potentially clinch their qualification with a good run here, but they are going to be starting us off with Sunflower, the captain, up front. Now, each purple block is the checkpoint. You can see how they do 2 of the marbles getting further down, and 1 of them will get a finisher. So you can see how this event works. Oh, look at them working together to avoid dropping into the holes. 1 of them gets caught out in the 4, but I think they will get a finisher. That's 8 points and another 6, so 21. That is a good start, and they are hoping that that will be good enough for a top half or potentially a top 3. Now, Green Lotus. The Yellow Lotus were sitting pretty with 2 wins. Green Lotus, now we're getting into the teams that really do want to do well in this event to qualify. And that is not a good start whatsoever. 3 of them getting caught out in the 1. Look at this, they cannot avoid the collisions, so 2 of them falls in the hole and 1 of them gets caught out in the blue block. Clover from the Green Lotus manages to get down all the way to 6, so that saved their run, otherwise it would have been absolutely disastrous. But Green Lotus, just 9 points. Now I've clearly seen what looks like a good run and what clearly isn't a good run. So you see the Blue Lotus now, they have an opportunity to overtake their Lotus rivals, the Green Lotus, in the standings. How will they do? It's a good start. All of them getting fairly down, and I think none of them are going to be caught out before 4. And they will get a finisher at the hands of their captain. So, oh, look at this. I think 3 of them getting caught out in the same zone, the 4 zone. So it'll be 8, 4, 4, 4, and just 1 point behind the Yellow Lotus. But nonetheless, it is better than the Green Lotus by far. So we turn our sights to the Celestials. The Celestials with Cosmos in the front. They are hoping to make their debut in the Team Quadrilla Marble League A division, and they are going to get a finisher. What about the second one? They will also finish. The Celestials, that last marble, they were taking their sweet time, but they had the willpower and the precision to make it to the end. Look at this, getting jolted to the left, and now they get jolted to the right, but they managed to avoid the holes, and they just keep going and do make it to the end. That means they get 2 finishers and 23 points. The Celestials have taken the lead. Now the Pumpkin Patch, a team that was exactly tied with the Celestials coming into this, they are going to want to respond to that well. Will they be able to? Pumpkin leading the team. And it's going to be a lot of collisions, and they get all caught out very early, and that was exactly the opposite of the Celestials. There are 3 of them making the 2, so they didn't all get caught out on the 1. Well, Squash only got 1. So the Pumpkin Patch, just 7. That is even worse than the Green Lotus. Oh, goodness. The Pumpkin Patch, that was absolutely the opposite of what they needed. Now, Olive Orbs. Olive Orbs, it's not going to take much of an effort to beat the Pumpkin Patch, even the Green Lotus. But how will they fare with the other good teams? And it's not going to be a good run either. The Olive Orbs. Look at that, their captain going straight in the 1, another one going in the 1. They get 1 in the 2 too. One of them makes it down to the 4, but at the end of the day, it's just 8 points. They slot in between the Green Lotus and the Pumpkin Patch, and that is penultimate. Only better than the Pumpkins. Now, Red Lotus. The team that is lowest out of the Lotus teams. They're going to want to get a move on right now. Getting kind of caught up, but they do get 2 finishers, and 2 of the other 2 also very far down. Look at this, they look like they were going to fall down, but they managed to avoid it. And look at this, 2 of them making it to the end consecutively pretty much while the other two also were up there. So it's 27, and that betters the Celestials by 4 points. The Red Lotus have taken the lead. Now the Mountain Climbers. Mountain Climbers down with just 4 points. They need a good result here. They could potentially be eliminated from qualification after this event. Will they be able to? They'll get 2 caught out. One of them will make it to the end. The other one was close. It's only going to be a 6 for them. This is not going to be challenging for the lead for sure. But how will it do compared to perhaps the Blue Lotus? It will be 18 and just 5th. So the Mountain Climbers, it was well ahead of the other 3, but just 18 is just 5th for them. That is not going to be good for the team last place in Group A coming into this event. But the Red Lotus get the win, and they needed that. They go up into 2nd place. The Yellow Lotus, meanwhile, have clinched their qualification. But Mountain Climbers in the bottom, they can still qualify. They need a miracle, though. Now we're going to look at Group B with this incredibly tight group. 6 teams tied at 9. That means how this event plays out is going to be pivotal to see what the rankings look like in Group B as we start with the Venomous Vipers. 11 points compared to most of the other teams at 9. How will they do here? Oh, 3 of them getting caught out. It's all 4. And the Venomous Vipers. Oh, goodness. That was almost as bad as the Pumpkin Patch, if not worse, in Group A. And Viper does get down to 3. Then you have a 2, 1, and 1 for just a 7. So they tie the Pumpkin Patch in points. Now that shows first, because they're the first team to go, but they are certainly not going to stay first. Now, Efficient Eggs. They have an opportunity to overtake the Venomous Vipers, but they also have 5 other teams to worry about right behind them. But they do get 2 finishers, and one of them fairly down the course as well. And the Efficient Eggs, this is looking promising for them. Let's see how it compares to one of the best ones from Group A. Look at that, those two securing the 8-point scramble also made it down to a 6, Hardboiled just a 2. So it's not the best one we've seen of the day. It is still 24, and that is going to put them up there in the group. That is going to be hard to beat. Now, Sinister Sprinters with Demon, fellow white team right behind the Efficient Eggs. How will they do to respond? Another good response. They have 3 of them up there. 2 of them get caught up, but they will get 1 finisher. The Sinister Sprinters. This is looking good. Does it challenge the Efficient Eggs? Look at them. All of them making it fairly down. They didn't have 1 get caught out so early like the Efficient Eggs had, but they also only get 1 finisher. And it's going to be just a 24 as well, actually. So that ties the Efficient Eggs in points, but because they only had 1 finisher, the Sinister Sprinters get 2nd. Now, Aquamarines. With Azurite at the helm, the Sinister Sprinters tying on points but losing the tiebreaker. Every point counts in the qualifiers. Aquamarines, oh, they had 3 of them only making it to the middle part, but one of them does make it all the way. So it's going to be a decent run for the Aquamarines. Look at this, Sapphire. Managing even to turning to the right, but they do manage to hold the 8 points. The others just getting 3, 4, and 3 though. So it's only 18 for them. That was only good enough for 5th for the Mountain Climbers in Group A. But how will it fare in Group B? Now, Amber Animals. Parrot at the helm. They do have quite large totals with the Eggs and the Sprinters, but 3 of them get caught out. 1 will make it to the end. I think that just looked like the Amber Animals, but slightly worse. Look at that. You have 1, 3, 1, 2, maybe even 1, 1. Tamarin makes it to the end. Yeah, 3, 2, 8, 3, 1. That's only good enough for 14. Tamarin really saving their run there. They only slot in to 4th place. Now, Crate Fleet. With their new captain Caramel, they're the only team in the qualifiers to have changed their lineup permanently. Now, they do get all of them cut out. One of them fairly down. I think that's their captain. They get caught out in the 6. Or that might be no, that's the 6. So the new captain does well themselves. Not so much leading the team as they only get 14. It's only good enough for 5th place. Now, the Shadow Riders. A team, they are 7th in the standings right now, but they do have 9 points tied with the Efficient Eggs in 2nd. Usually very good at team events. How will they do here? They have two of them making it to the end. The other two also not too bad. The Shadow Riders. How will this fare? Look at this. All of them changing direction constantly, but not making it into the holes. And look at that teamwork, making sure those two marbles did not fall off into the holes and instead got the finishers. And the Shadow Riders have taken the lead by 2 points. 26. That is exactly what they needed. Now, the Valley Dashers. Team 7 points in Group B compared to most of the others in 9. They would love to get an event win here. Valley Dashers, they have lots of collisions. One of them goes straight to the end. It looks like the Valley Dashers, this is not going to be a good run. Look at them, 2 of them getting caught out in the 1, one of them getting in the 3. Their captain makes it to the end for an 8, but it's only a 13. The only team they beat is the Venomous Vipers. They get into 7th place. That is not good for the team. Last place in Group B. But it is the Shadow Riders that get the win in Group B, and as a result, they go to the top of the group. Haven't quite clinched their qualification, but things are looking good for the Riders and the Eggs. Even the Valley Dashers at the bottom could still theoretically qualify. But now we look at Group C with the Hazelnuts well out in front with their lineup change, but this time temporary, not exactly like the Treat Fleet with the permanent one. They have taken out their captain here, instead subbed in the reserve. So it's Filbert, the vice captain, leading the team. How will they do here? Oh, 3 of them getting caught out early. But I think that is Filbert, the vice captain. Made it all the way to the end. Look at this, Filbert constantly changing their direction. But they're able to avoid the holes going back and forth, left to right. But the rest of the marbles, they couldn't replicate that. It's just a 1, 3, and a 4 for the other 3 hazelnuts. So it's just 16 for them. I think that's going to be a decent run. Probably won't get the win in Group C. Now, Icicles. Team that has been right behind the Hazelnuts. Another relegated team from Season 1 to Season 2. This is their first qualifier since Season 1. 3 of them get caught out fairly early, but one of them makes it down to a 7. But I think they got fairly down the course, actually, most of them. One of them gets a 1. The other 2 get caught out in the 7. The other one, the 4th one, nearly got caught out in the 4, actually. That was 4, not the 7. But then Stalactite gets all the way down to a 7. And that is also 16, like the Hazelnuts, but they lose out based on the tiebreaker. The Icicles, that will probably be only a 4th or even a 5th at best. So you take a look at the Rock Pools. Got the win in block pushing the last qualifying event. Subbing in Plunge for Waterfront here. How will they do? It's not going to be a very good run for any of them, really. Look at that Cove going straight. I think that's their captain, Cove, going straight to the 1. Plunge, their reserve, subbed into this event. Only a 2. Creek and Coast, not too bad with a 6 and a 4. But that's 13, and that's last in the group thus far. Now, Bauble Squad. Have Tinsel in the mix, who got promoted as a main member in Season 2. So this is their regular lineup. How will they do in the Gauntlet Run? Oh, 2 of them very early, but the other 2 make it very far down the course. Look at this. They will get 2 marbles getting in the 1, colliding with each other. One of them, I think that's their captain, making it down to the 7, and Ornament making it to the 8. So Bauble Squad, by 1 point, they go into the lead in Group C, and they needed that. They didn't quite need that, actually. They were in 4th coming to this event, but to perhaps secure their chances, they are going to be happy with that. Oh, Majestic Melons, one of them stalling. That could have been a strategy, though, as they got fairly down the course. Look at that last marble, Winter Melon, stalling. Well, 2 of the other marbles that didn't stall got caught out pretty early, so might be a good strategy there, while one of their first marbles goes all the way to the end, Muskmelon. But it's just a 15, that's just slightly behind the Hazelnuts and the Icicles. Only good enough for 4th. Now, Floundering Fish. Team that did pretty well underwater, but didn't do very well in block pushing. How will they do here? They'll get lots of collisions, and they all get caught out before even making it to the 4. And the Floundering Fish. That is not going to be a good run. I don't think it will beat the Rock Pools, who are currently last place. It will not. Just 11 points. They do break double digits, but just 3, 3, 3, and 2 is good enough for last place only. Now, the Golden Cheeses, a team that is a mainstay, has done well in both Team Quadrilla Marble Leagues, but are currently very down the order. They need a good result. Will this be the event where they do it? Oh, not a good exit at all, and 3 of them get caught out early. One of them makes it down to the 6th, but that is all they can say. I think that's going to be 1, 2, 2, and 6. So the Golden Cheeses also an 11, like the Floundering Fish. They do beat them based on the tiebreaker because of the 6. The Golden Cheeses, things are looking pretty dire for them. Speaking of things that are looking pretty dire, the Bacon Brawlers, they only have 4 points in the qualifiers. They need a good result here. However, good for them. One of them making it square down, and the other 3 also fairly down, so this might challenge for the lead. They're contending for the lead with the Bobble Squad. They do get 1-4, I think 1-3, but then Rasher also gets down to the 6, and with their captain getting a full 8, that is good enough for them to get the win in Group C with a 21. So the Bacon Brawlers get the win, and that is going to be pivotal for them. Bobble Squad in second, then it's the Hazelnuts and the Icicles. The Hazelnuts, meanwhile, have clinched qualification for the first time. They will be in the A division, and it's the Bobble Squad, Icicles, Rock Pools, Bacon Brawlers jumping up. Congratulations to the Red Lotus, Shadow Riders, and the Bacon Brawlers for winning the Gauntlet Run in their groups. The first time this event has been held, and all 3 of these teams needed it to get up there in the standings. The final qualifying event, the Quadrilla race, as we go back to the basics to see who can qualify for the Team Quadrilla Marble League in Season 3.